I was going to continue to let them play because I enjoy hearing that song, so I was going to wait till they got done. We want to welcome everybody here today for what is a very special day. I don't guess it matters if many people can hear me or not. For a very special day here at Lamar University. I just want to go over a couple of guidelines before I turn it over to the truly important people here this afternoon or this morning. At the end of the press conference, we're going to have a one-on-one question and answer session for our media with Coach. And once that is over with, if you would like individual one-on-ones, we can set that up for you either in here or out in the lobby area. So we'll get that taken care of. Just bear with us and give us some time on that. And without further ado, at this time, I'd like to introduce our university president, Dr. Jaime Taylor.
Thank you very much, James. I want to welcome everybody here today to Lamar University, and thank you for coming out today for this very important event. Also, I want to thank the alumni and the community for all the support you give Lamar University. I've been here over a year and a half, and I continue to be blown away with just how much support this university gets. With that, I want to make sure everybody knows we are not going to take that support for granted. And not only are we not going to take it for granted, we're going to make sure we do the things we need to do so we deserve the support that you give us. Every time I go to see Frank Messina, Frank, where are you at? I saw you earlier. Every time I go see him, he's always telling me, he said, you know, Lamar University, they're just so amazing academically. You look around this region, all the leaders in this region come from Lamar University, medical doctors, lawyers, judges, engineers, teachers, just about everybody you meet in this region in leadership positions has a background from Lamar University. However, we just haven't been able to do the same thing on the football field as of yet. We now have a coach, and I'm going to say we, not just the coach, are committed to making that happen, and we're going to try to put that support structure around him to make sure that happens. I also want to mention our student athletes. I want to make sure we don't lose sight of that, and in general, lose sight of our students. Everything we do here at Lamar University is for our students, and we want to create that great atmosphere for our student athletes. And we're committed to making sure that they're successful on the field, that they're successful in the classroom, and that when they leave here, they're prepared to be successful in life. And that is our commitment. Through this coaching search, the pool was ridiculously impressive. It was very tough going through those, and I'll let Athletic Director Jeff O'Malley talk about that. I could not be more impressed with how he handled this process. This is the first time I've ever been through it. He's been through it a lot. And he actually hired a national championship coach. One, he was adamant it had to be done fast. Also that we had to work hard to get good applicants in the pool, which we did very successfully. And then what I heard from all the candidates across the board was just how professional the search was done. And last thing I'll say, could not be more happy with the outcome. Very, very excited with the outcome. So Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to Athletic Director Jeff O'Malley.
What a great turnout. This is awesome. Thanks everybody for coming today. It's great to see everybody. And thank you, Dr. Taylor. You know, he put some accolades on me, but it couldn't have been done without you and your support of athletics and this search process and your involvement in it. It's been absolutely fantastic, and it's great to be a part of an organization like that. So thank you. So as Dr. Taylor said, this was an extensive national search. You know, at the end of the day, we had 117 applicants for this position. So, and, you know, I believe, and I know a lot of you believe in this room, that this can be a football program that can compete for championships on a regular basis. But we're not there yet. We need all of us in this room and in this community to work towards a common goal of making Lamar football a championship program. You know, when we started this journey, the ultimate goal in this decision-making process was to find the best football coach that we possibly could. One that can build a winning culture, had integrity, guides young men to academic and athletic success, and one that preferably had successful head coaching experience. We have done that. Our new football coach has nearly 30 years of coaching experience, with 10 of those being a head coach, He was a 4-time Conference Coach of the Year, the 2012 Liberty Mutual National Division II Coach of the Year, 2017 FCS National Coach of the Year finalist. He had experience in Division II, FCS, Group of 5, the Big Ten, and the SEC. When he was at New Haven in Division II, he posted a 42-13 overall record. He was 33-8 in conference play, and he guided Central Connecticut State to a 2017 Northeast Conference title and the program's first ever berth in the FCS playoffs. I join you in welcoming our new football coach, Pete Rossomando.
What a day to be a Cardinal, huh? Woo! This is incredible. I really appreciate everybody coming out. It's great to see all the black and red. I'm a red fan. When I went to college, we were red, so I'm excited to be back in that color. I want to thank some people before I get started. First, I want to thank God for putting me in this situation. Nothing good that I ever do is done without Him. I also want to thank my wife, Jessica. She's been on this coaching journey with me for the last 20 years. I've raised a family through the trials and tribulations of being a coach. And I have 3 amazing children. I want to thank them because my daughter went to 3 high schools. As you could imagine, that's not easy for a young girl. But my son Nicholas is here with us today. I'm not going to kid her. I was going to kid around with him and make him stand up like Shedeur Sanders, but I'm not going to do that. My daughter is taking her biology final today at Clemson, so she couldn't make it. And my oldest son, Reese, is back at home at work. But I appreciate their support throughout this journey, and I've really just appreciate the love and support they give me. I'm so blessed to be here. I mean, what an incredible opportunity. This is, to me, a place ready to explode. When I met Jeff initially on a phone call, and everything seemed easy. Conversations were easy, and then we Zoomed with Dr. Taylor, and seemed easy. You know, the conversations were great. It seemed like we were moving in the proper direction, and I wanted to make sure that my next head coaching opportunity checked all the boxes. And one of the boxes was alignment. You know, you got to have alignment from the top down to be successful in any adventure, but in football especially. And we have that here at Lamar. Our president, our administration, everyone is in alignment. And I think that, to me, was a huge selling point for Lamar. Fertile recruiting grounds. I mean, this is the best football in the country right here in the state of Texas. You could draw a circle in a 3-hour radius, and you'll have the best football in the country, best high school football. And we want to attract that at Lamar. We have the facilities. We're going to have the people, which you can have as many buildings as you want. If you don't have the right people, which we have in place, we want to make sure that we bring that talent back to Beaumont. We have a committed university. You know, a university from the top that's committed to being successful in football. And if you're not successful in football in the state of Texas, you just ain't successful. So we're going to be successful. I don't like to lose. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to make sure we checked all the boxes. And then the last box was a community. And from the people I met already, and Frank, where's Frank? I'm gonna turn you over on me, Frank. I promise you that. I can't wait to come visit you. But me too. My family's from Sicily, southern Italy. There you go. But what a great community, and the people that we've met have just lit up the room and made us feel so welcome and so at home. And that alignment and those boxes are what's going to make Lamar football really, really, really special. And, you know, some of the things that I'd love to talk about, you know, vision. What's the vision for our program here? You know, I don't know if we've ever had a clear vision of what we want to be. You know, and I'll tell you, we want to be tough, both mentally and physically tough. When you come watch a Lamar football game, you should leave there saying, man, did those guys play hard? Man, do they play great defense. And man, it's so fun to watch them play. That's my vision when I think of what the football team should look like. And the previous staff has done a fine job of putting together a group of really talented young people. And we're going to build on that. We're going to hire a staff that wants to engage the community, a staff that wants to engage not only the greater Beaumont community, but the campus community. Other coaches, like collaboration, to me, that is the way you win. You know, I want to support our basketball team, our softball team, our volleyball team, and we want them in turn to support us. And that is what's going to create a championship culture in our building. But toughness, we want our players to be disciplined on and off the field, and we want them to be accountable to a standard. So we're going to live that standard every day from the coaches on down. And I always felt like if my car's not the first one in the parking lot, I'm not setting the right standard. And I promise you that Jeff will not beat me in the morning. I promise you that. You did today. So what's the next step? You know, the next step for me is to get out in the high school community, to get out and meet the high school coaches in the state of Texas. I got a lot of friends in the coaching profession, as you can imagine, for doing this for 30 years. A lot of friends in the state of Texas. And the reason is this is the best state in the country for football. So we're going to get out and meet those coaches, make sure that they understand that there's an open conduit on both sides. We may not take all their players they want us to take, but we want them to make sure they know they're valued, that we evaluate their players, and that we care about what their input is in our program. And I'm just really excited to get around campus and get a chance to meet everybody and get a chance to really start to build something special here. Then the next step is going to be to hire an incredible staff. Put together a group of people with not only Texas ties, because you have to have that. We need guys that can go into high schools and already have relationships built with coaches and people in the community so that we can get those players here. But we also want really, really smart coaches that can teach. They have to be able to teach. They have to be able to mentor young men, not only on the football field, but as we get them ready for life beyond football, because we know that's coming, and it's coming very, very quickly. And we want great family men that want to create a feeling of family in our building. Really, really important to me, and I know it's important to my wife, and I know it's important to Jeff and Dr. Taylor because, again, alignment is key. And then they're the reason that I'm here. They're the reason I stayed in the search and I desired to be at Lamar, because we are going to do great things. And I know Frank is not patient because he's like me. He's Italian. I'm not patient either. But be patient. I promise you it will come. We will get this program where it needs to be. And that is not only a Southland championship, but the goal should be a national championship. And that, to me, that's the ultimate goal. Win a national championship, graduate your players, make sure we have unbelievable community support, and the only way you do that is to get out in the community yourself. You know, I understand is there an elementary school that way, right? This way? Sorry, I'm not sure where I am. But we want to engage the schools in the community. We want to get our players out there. We have so much. Our players have so much to give. And we want to make sure that they give to the community. And then, you know, the last thing is, you know, we want our players, we want them to be grateful. I want my players to be grateful for the support that we get. I want them to be grateful for the community that we're in. I've been to a lot of FCS programs, and a lot of them don't have buildings like we have. They don't have stadiums like we have. They don't have a campus community like we have. So we are blessed, truly. And we want to make sure we take that, and we have a tremendous amount of gratitude for our administration, our community, for providing that for us. I can't wait to get to work. I couldn't wait to get down here. I'm fired up. I'm an excitable person. You'll see me running up and down the sidelines. I'm excited, but you know, I can't wait to meet everybody in the community today. And the time for Lamar football is right now. This is the time for Lamar football. right now. We're not waiting. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you being here. Continue to support. We want to create the best structure in FCS football. People want to have NILs at the Power 5 level. We want to have it here. We want to give our players the best college experience so that they don't jump in the transfer portal. We want to make sure we pack that stadium so that they want to create an unbelievable environment and stay for 4 years and win a national championship and graduate and have an unbelievable career, maybe beyond football. But hopefully a lot of them will be playing in the NFL. So we say thank you. Can't wait to get to meet everybody. We really appreciate it. My wife and I, thanks. Thank you.
We're now going to open things up for a question and answer time for our media only at this time, because those guys have deadlines that they've got to get to. So this is just for our media, but we're going to open them up right now for questions for you guys. Just make sure that before you ask a question, just let Coach know what media outlet you're from.
Coach, Harold Mann, KLBI Radio, Lamar Radio. First off, welcome to Beaumont, Southeast Texas, and Lamar University. Talk about, I don't know if urgency is the right word or not, but recruiting. Do you look into the transfer portal? Just talk about filling the gaps on the team right now.
I think transfer portal, junior college has to be an avenue that we're going to take, but we don't want to rush into anything right now. We don't need to sign everyone on this first signing period, so we're not going to have buyer's remorse. We're not going to look back and say, we shouldn't have taken that guy. We rushed into it. We're going to do our research. We want to make sure we get the staff hired. We can do the research on the players that have already made a commitment to Lamar and research whether, I didn't recruit them, so I don't know if they're going to be fits for the program that we're going to be running offensively, defensively, and special teams. But yeah, we're gonna dive into transfer portal. We're gonna dive into junior college to fill in some of those gaps that we have right now in the roster. I've watched all 11 games, so I got a pretty good feeling of what we need.
Talk about putting together your staff. Do you have a timetable on that?
No, again, I want to put together the best staff that Lamar can have, and I want to make sure that they're here for a little while so they can invest in our players and our program. And so I would say we'll have coordinators in place in probably, 3 to 5 days maybe. But again, don't want to rush it. Want to make sure that we have the right people in place that can recruit to Lamar and recruit in the high schools in Texas.
Lamar University Press. Stylistically, what can you tell fans and people who are going to be watching about how your teams play? What is the focus on both sides of the ball?
Well, we're going to build our team from the inside out. So we're going to be tough on both lines, offense and defensive line. We're going to be able to run the football effectively enough to create big plays in a pass game. Defensively, haul butt to the ball. That's what you're going to see. Bunch of guys that can't wait to get to the ball and tackle the ball carrier, because the last time I looked, the way you play great defense is tackle. So we're gonna make sure we do that.
Ashley, Able 12 News. For those of you that I've heard in the community that are just concerned about a lack of Texas ties, how do you overcome that, especially when it comes to recruiting wars here in Texas?
Relationships. I mean, everything is built around relationships. So my goal was to get out and to see in our main recruiting area, see every high school coach, just so they have a connection, and then hire guys on the staff that have those connections in the Texas high school to make sure they can get in there and win those wars. The wars are won with the relationships you build with the players. So we have to make sure that we build the relationships with the coaches now, but once we get involved in those recruiting battles, we have relationships with those student athletes so we can get them here and they feel like we care about them more as humans than we do football players.
Coach, what's your message going to be when you meet with the team for the first time? What message are you going to have for these young guys?
Get ready to win. Get ready to win. I mean, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So we'll start in the off season and start with our off season program and teach them how to win, because they haven't won. So I got to teach them how to win. So that's going to be my message. Get ready to win and get ready to compete every day, because every day in college football is a competition. Every day, whether it be in the classroom, in the weight room, or on the football field.
Coach, Matt Fay, Beaumont Enterprise. How do you think your previous head coaching experience helped you now in taking this job?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's turnkey. I mean, I know I've done it before, so I understand what the process is to building a roster, to building the mentality of a football team, to putting together an offensive and defensive scheme. And not to say that we're not going to be scheme driven. We're going to be technique driven so that we can run all the schemes based on what the talents of our team is. You know, in college football, your teams are a little bit different every year. Sometimes you got a quarterback that's a pocket passer. Sometimes you got a dual threat guy. Sometimes you got a guy that hasn't really thrown a lot of footballs yet. So you got to kind of tweak your offense around your personnel. And the same on defense. You may be strong enough on the D line to run a 3-down operation, you know, and then next year maybe you got to run 4 down because you don't have great defensive linemen. So I think those are ways that as a head coach that done it before, I understand how that process works. And then I think my last 4 years has really gotten me more ready to be a head coach because I've been at the Power 5 level, I've been at the Group of 5 level, and I've kind of seen the way things are supposed to work. And in some cases, how they're not supposed to work. I learned a lot from those experiences, and I think it will make me a better head coach right now.
Sticking with the experiences, a lot of times coaches, they pick up more and more, the more places you are. What are you hoping to bring from that experience here to Lamar?
Well, again, the 3 pillars of the program are going to be toughness, mental and physical toughness, discipline, and accountability. And I think in any football program that's successful, you will find those 3 things. And to me, those 3 things equal love. You know, if players want discipline, and I've seen it where there was no discipline with great players and there was no success. So we're going to have those 3 pillars embedded in our program, right, so that we make sure. And that's really what I've learned over the last 4 years is if you don't have discipline and accountability, you have nothing in your football program.
Most of your success has come at the D2 level. You have been at the FCS D1 as well. How do you approach things differently from a D2 to coming to a university like Lamar?
Lamar is actually very similar university to Central Connecticut. It's a state college. It's roughly 16,000 students. It's publicly funded. I think all those things kind of work to my advantage because I've done that before. Now, the one thing that Lamar has that Central Connecticut didn't have was alignment and an unbelievable facility footprint right now. So I think that is a bonus. But I coached the most experience I have is at the FCS level because I coached at University at Albany for 7 years. We had a lot of success, won 3 conference championships there, and then on to New Haven as a head coach, won 3 conference championships. I started that program from 0. We didn't even have a helmet or shoulder pad when I took over. So I think those experiences will allow me to build this roster, and then took over Central Connecticut, who was not having success, and had to turn that culture around. So I've done that as well. I don't think the culture is broken here, because it really starts from the top. Our culture is solid.
Are there any more questions for Coach? Nice, Coach. Thank you very much for your time. Again, if you'd like
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
one-on-one